Hi, welcome back to Zoomers the podcast. I'm Isla.
And I'm Eliana, and today we're going to be talking about career paths in the future. And this is kind of foreshadowing our new series where we're going to be interviewing different professionals in various fields and kind of getting their take on both how they got into the field and where they think the field's going to go in the future, like in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years, and when like Gen Z is going to be taking their place. So that'll be really exciting. We're very excited to have that happen really soon. But for now, we're gonna make our own predictions. So Isla, do you have any predictions for jobs in general in the future?
Well, I think one that's pretty obvious. It's not like a particular job, but I think like anything really in the technology industry that can't be done by like artificial intelligence, like actually designing new programs and stuff, the more like creative side and actually I feel like there's going to be a high need for that as more internet is used and available readily and more things just are online now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's going to be a demand for that. And personally, this is just a personal thing. I think psychology in some ways will be more demanding because I think as more things start to move online, a lot of people will feel a lot more disconnected from like their peers in the world around them. And at least from what I've noticed in Silicon Valley, there's like a low sense of community in some areas. And that's just something personally that I feel living in this area, I really don't have a sense of community at all compared to like other areas in the world. And I think because of that, that's why there's a lot of mental health issues around here, but that's just my personal opinion. And so I think just as more things are online, there's going to be more mental health issues and more people will feel the need or be referred to see psychologists. And since like clinical psychology is not something a robot really can do because you need that real human interaction and connection, I think that will also be kind of a job in demand that can't really be replaced.
I see that too. So like those like mental health and like technology are two defining factors of Gen Z. So I definitely see those like things being shown like in our career paths in the future, both in like need and interest. Another thing that's like that kind of came to mind was how diverse Gen Z is and how like immigration has kind of scattered a lot of people like who are very different like across the world. And definitely I see how a lot of kids like growing up now are like bilingual and like multicultural or like mixed race as well. So I think that might like give way to a lot of like international relations kind of careers because it's not like, I don't know, like the countries aren't as like in boxes as they were before. Like a lot of people are like flowing in and out and like have ties to different countries. So definitely people growing up like that will have interests in like international relations. Another thing that I thought about was since like I'm religious, but a lot of Gen Z isn't, and this is like a problem for like the church. There's a lot of people who don't want to go into religious vocations, and like the numbers are like dropping, and like number of like ordained priests or like nuns. So that's going to be, I don't know if that's going to be an issue, but it's going to be in effect more in my life than like the average Gen Z kid.
But I feel like at least like some people I talk to, a lot of people who are religious and they like constantly like do practice religion, like whenever I talk to them, they say that like their job, like not like their dream job, but like what they're planning on doing is to become, I don't know what it's called, but like, I don't know, the person who like leads the church stuff. Like
like deacons or like priests,
I
pastors?
yeah, like a pastor or something. Like
Oh,
they want to like do something like that, and because that's like what their parents do, and they seem like pretty like enthusiastic about it. So
wow.
like I don't know. I also like you can't really like base something off like the few friends I have that are really into it. So like, but like I still feel like the people who are in that community are really like wanting to preserve that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, like obviously like there are people who like want to go into religion, but I like obviously like the numbers are dropping too. So I don't know how it's gonna affect us overall, but it's definitely gonna make some difference. Another thing about Gen Z is we're very politically active, as we like discussed in earlier episodes too. So like a lot of my friends, when I look at them, like you kind of can guess like what kind of career path they might want to go into. And for a lot of my friends and a lot of like kids like in my classes and stuff, I can see them going into politics, not just because like their like personality or whatever, but because of like their advocacy for certain things. Like some people are like really passionate about like reproductive rights, and others about like representation and things. So like all those interests, like I'm sure you could go into like a specialized politician career kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people that live in California are like very liberal and take on like that one view of like socialism is great. And I feel like that's like the one view around here that like everyone's exposed to. So that's kind of off topic, but I just feel like, I don't know, I was talking earlier today with, and like kind of a lot over the last 2 days about politics with people. And I just feel like everyone around here is just, majority are like one thing that they all want.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know how, I guess, like politics would play into like careers outside of politicians, but I guess it really could, because like obviously like, politics is like the controlling factor like across the board. So like certain bills or things could, like restrict like certain jobs. So I guess that makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. So I actually went ahead and looked up a list of the like popular jobs, or like jobs that are going to grow in the future. So number one on here is, I don't know if this is completely accurate or anything, but okay, like another thing that I want to say is like the medical community. Like I don't yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because like a lot of my friends want to go into medicine and law. So do you have any like,
Oh my God. Okay, I have two things to say for
okay,
one for them. So
cool.
the medical community, from what I've seen, lots of things are being taken over by just like robots and stuff, or like tools that can like do the jobs of like people. And so I feel like there's a decreased need, and sometimes they can get into places that like we can't with just our hands and just regular tools. And so I feel like there's kind of like less of a need in some ways. I think like if you go to like a doctor and you're trying to be diagnosed, I don't think really a robot can do that, because I feel like sometimes it's just about human experience and that type of thing. Like I feel like it's more of like when there's a decision needing to be made, a human kind of has to do that. But when it's like, oh, can you tell me something, like the information can be provided to you
Right.
by technology. And so that's the other thing about law, like judges and stuff. Like I know in like court and stuff, there's sometimes been like artificial intelligent judges that like kind of do like the trial and hear things, and then like I don't know, like choose whether they're guilty or not with like a percentage and stuff, and see like how it changes differing like to the judge. And like a lot of times it can actually be really different. And I think like just like I don't know, I feel like you kind of have to be human to make that decision in a way, because like robots, they're just programmed by humans, and like there's going to be instances you never thought of, and just like you can't account for every factor. And I just feel like, so like in like I don't know, so I just feel like there's still going to be a need for humans in a lot of things, but like basic things like procedures and stuff in like medicine, I feel like that could a lot like be replaced by a lot of like technology.
Like the one thing, like image that comes to mind when you like talk about like AI for technology, AI for medicine, is like Baymax from Big Hero 6. Like I don't know, but like after watching that movie, like you can kind of like think about like how our future in healthcare is gonna look. So I do agree that some certain things can definitely not be like replaced by AI that humans do. And then in court, right, like certain things like aren't, I wouldn't say are delivering justice if they all follow procedure. Like say like somebody steals something like just for himself, like and like that's like certain that like in that case is ruled the same as like a man who's like stealing something for his like baby daughter, like those two things are like circumstantially very different, and if they were the jury, like I'm sure like those things would be ruled differently, but
Yeah.
like not like with like AI, you know, like so like
Yeah.
more things like that are like I think require like human nature. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I just think like when you're there in person, you hear this like what's happening and you can kind of like make your own decisions. And I just feel like, yeah, I just agree with you.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and read off from our list and we can share our thoughts. So number 1 on this list is solar energy technician. Thoughts?
I mean, I can see that because like solar energy is becoming a lot bigger. I was actually like listening to a podcast about this I feel like I say that a lot. I'm like, I was listening to a podcast the other day. But like I was, and it was kind of talking about how like in like the whole industry with like the way oil is like used for a lot of things, and there's also like other sources like nuclear energy and other types of things, but it's just like the oil industry is kind of dying out, and like everyone knows that they're like, I was talking to someone in it and she was like, yeah, like it's just not going to be as used as much in the future, and so like they're investing in like solar investments and wind investments and stuff like that, because that's what's growing, and that's what everybody, like people around here, what they want is they want renewable energy sources. They want that. And so that's what the people want. That's what people are investing in, which means that there's more available, like there's more money being put in towards that. So they can have more solar panels and such. And so I think that that's going to grow a lot. I don't really know what a technician does. So I don't know if that could be like a replaceable job by like technology, but I think solar energy, wind energy, any source of renewable energy is definitely growing, and there will be probably more jobs available in that sort of industry.
Yeah, for sure. I see a lot of like passion for environmental issues like within the generation, which is like totally valid since like it is our future. So I can definitely see that. Like I see a little farther on the list, there's wind energy technician. So yeah, so solar, wind, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, like hydro energy. Okay, next thing on here we have nurse practitioner, and then it's a little blurb under it talks about how our growing population means more older people, so nursing experience and a degree in treating chronic and acute diseases for like our elderly population in the future. So yeah, like with the growing population, like there will be more elderly people who need care, and like this whole like COVID-19 breakout has kind of like opened my eyes, so I can see like, and people are saying that like this like won't be the first, like the last of them. Like this is like the first of many like outbreaks, because viruses
Wait,
are always evolving.
serious?
Yeah, which is like I don't know, like maybe we'll be more prepared in the future, but like COVID-19 is like the first of like many viruses that are gonna keep evolving, and
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. But
So
like, even if they evolve, they might not be that like dangerous, you know?
true. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I watched a TED talk about this, and like, yeah, and like this TED talk was done like not even like recently. It was like done like in the early 2010s. And
Seriously?
yeah, and he predicted like something like this would happen.
Whoa.
And yeah, I don't know who. I know I have the name, but I want to say it's Bill Gates, but I don't want to say that because like I just like a name that's in my head. But I'm pretty sure he gave a TED talk, and yeah, I would never have guessed. But so yeah, he's been right about one. So maybe in the future he'll be right about more. So I guess we definitely need scientists working in like disease control, or and then like medical practitioners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one on the list here, number 3, is software developer. This is kind of
Yeah.
what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Due to a growing demand for internet things, mobile developers will lead the field as they can create customized solutions to every growing need of software. Okay, I don't have a lot of like knowledge in software development. Do you have any insights?
I honestly don't have anything to add other than like that seems like pretty intuitive why that would be growing.
Right. Yeah. And like honestly, like kudos to anyone who like can code, who's like
It's
in
really
robotics.
hard.
Yeah, I've tried like many times and I don't know, it's just never clicked with me. So I want
Yeah,
to.
it hasn't with me either, but yeah, I keep taking computer science.
That's great. Like I'm sure a lot of jobs will have to like have some experience in that area, or like you'll have to learn to do your job.
Yeah, because like even if you like kind of have like your own thing and stuff, like even like creating like your own blog or like doing something like that like or like a website, like just anything kind of requires some coding, unless you're gonna like hire someone to do it for you or like go through a website that has like its own format, like if you're creating a website like Wix or something, but like otherwise you kind of need some background.
Yeah. All right, next one on here, number 5, physical therapist. Okay.
Oh my god, wait, I'm actually kind of surprised.
I don't know. It's explaining again about the growing population. So that means seniors require people to assist them. So a lot of
I see that.
it
I
makes
don't know.
sense.
I've just never been one to believe kind of in the physical therapy. I kind of personally see it more as a pseudoscience. And I mean, like, in terms of, like, its ranking in pseudoscience versus science, it kind of falls in the middle. But I've always put it more in the pseudoscience side. I guess I just don't really believe in it. But, I mean, I guess it works for some people. I don't know. I'm just, like, surprised that it's up there. Like, I don't think it's going to decrease, but I just don't think it'd be, like, high up there on the list.
Well, yeah, it's pretty high up here. I've never personally gone to physical therapy. I don't think. We have like a station at school for like student athletes. We have like a physical therapist there, and it seems to be working. But then again, yeah, like I definitely see your point on how it kind of falls toward the pseudoscience like side of the spectrum. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Next couple ones are like registered nurse for sure, and health service manager. I'm not too sure what that means, but I guess like obviously everything needs organization, so I'm assuming that's what it means. Data analyst.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Wait, I don't have like that much to add there, other than the fact that like I'm a very like data driven person and I base decisions off of like data. And if you don't give me data, like I just cannot see like a decision as being like the best decision. I don't know.
Right.
So
yeah.
like I personally think that's such like maybe an interesting job. And I don't see exactly why humans would be preferred over that than like technology, but like because I feel like technology could kind of do that. I don't know. I guess you just kind of work in conjunction with technology, but I think that's kind of actually like an interesting job. I know like it sounds kind of boring to some people, and I guess it is kind of boring in some ways, but like I don't know. I like data, so
yeah. It honestly really really depends on like which field like this like you're analyzing data in, I guess. Like I saw like this documentary earlier like a long time ago when like a data analyst, I'm sure it's a lot more like techie than it was then. Like this lady was just sitting like at like an intersection and like tapping buttons to launch traffic data.
I literally saw that yesterday.
No way. Okay.
Oh my god.
No, like this was like a long time ago though. Like she was like sitting like on like the crosswalk and like tapping like the buttons. Okay, well, but that was like apparently very interesting to her. Well, like I couldn't see like how it would be like interesting. So I guess it all depends. Yeah, okay. Moving on, we have digital content specialist. So basically creators, like freelancers. So like graphic design or like web page makers, or I guess this could include like YouTubers or something.
Yeah.
I can see how like influencers, I guess, like could spike. But at the same time, like I feel like a lot of influencers like have like a trending period and then like after a while they're kind of like deemed irrelevant.
Yeah.
Unless they have like a very loyal following, but a lot of following kind of like travels, like myself included. Like I don't watch like one YouTuber like religiously. I kind of just like go back and forth depending on like
I feel like the only YouTubers I can watch like for long periods of time are like science channels and stuff where they're always just doing cool science things, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. But like where it's like more about like entertainment versus like learning type like influencers, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't follow a lot of like entertainment influencers.
Got it. Okay, so like we can always like look at facts, but like we can't like always have the same interest kind of thing. Okay, I can see that. Next one we have information security analyst. So like cyber criminology.
Okay, I can see that because hacking,
right,
that's a problem. It's still a problem, and it will always be a problem. It'll probably increase as more technology is used. So
yeah, and like I can see this both like being like in government work and maybe freelancing if like certain companies want people to like come in and like, I don't know, I really don't know the terminology for this, but like kind of like make systems like impenetrable, that kind of.
Yeah, and like honestly, like Facebook, they need some better systems. Like they've leaked in way too much information about people. So
yeah, honestly, the internet is kind of scary. Like you can watch like one video or like visit one website on like a weird topic, and then like you get ads on that. Like, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like I went on this like this website I'd never been on in years, and then I kept getting like all these ads for it. Like it was creepy.
Okay, next one we have here, biomedical engineer. This is something that I was looking into like for my own career, I guess. So this kind of means like both engineering like medical devices, I guess, that help people with procedures. And also could mean cell engineering, like on like actual cells, like whether that's like blood cells or like T cells or different proteins and stuff. So yeah, and like I guess that could include like artificial organs, like I don't know, or like implants, that kind of thing. So that'll definitely be a big thing since like a lot of people are like looking to I don't know, like fix themselves. And yeah, do you have any takes?
I mean, I think that'll grow. Like, I think like the whole organ thing, like if they can like, because I know they've already successfully done lots of things with that, and like it's helping in making it so like I guess there's like it's not like transplants from like dead people anymore. It's like you don't have to wait for someone to die now. You can just have your own made thing. But I mean, I guess it's probably pretty expensive because not like readily available for everyone. So it's probably only for like really wealthy people. I don't really know that much about it, but I think that whole like industry sounds really interesting.
Yeah, like I'm actually taking a course in like bioethics, and like they're like talking about like organ transplant and stuff, and how like unfair distribution is a huge part of that, how like only like the wealthy can afford these things. So they're talking about how like a family member or something could donate an organ, and then like you'll be like moved up on like the priority list kind of thing. So like it wouldn't be like you have to pay for it, you kind of have to like do something.
Wait, can your family member like not give you their own organ? Like if you guys are compatible, because I know you have to be compatible.
I'm sure that could happen. Like I'm sure you could like work. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, really don't know about that.
Because I've seen like that happen in Grey's Anatomy, but like obviously that like is real life. Like
yeah, like I don't know. Like I'm sure most people would prefer to have family members like organ or something, but at least with blood and stuff, like it's not always possible.
yeah.
Like yeah, because my mom is like O and like I'm B positive, I think. She's O negative, so like I couldn't give her blood. Like whereas she could give me blood. So it's very it's very niche. Okay, we'll move on. Next one is electronics engineer. So this could mean like like I'm assuming this means like with both devices and like wiring and stuff. Yeah, I really have nothing to like contribute to like to that career. Do you have any takes on that?
Honestly, not really. I don't know much about that.
Okay, valid. We'll move on. Um, next one on this. Okay, so we have a lot of tech things. We have blockchain developer, which blockchain is apparently like has to do with like Bitcoin trading, which I never understood. So, do you have anything to?
Honestly, like the last time I heard about Bitcoin was like in 8th grade when like people in our grade talked about it all the time.
Right.
Like I honestly like never really got into that stuff, and like I always get like ads for like this app, and it's like turn your money into coins and invest, but it's not Bitcoin, it's like some other ripoff thing. And I'm kind of like, does this even like work? Like it's mainly like a stock app to invest in stocks, but I'm still kind of like skeptical about it because like if it actually works, like they won't be making profit, will they? So like I don't know. And like I don't know, Bitcoin in general, like I feel like that just never really took off.
Yeah.
Or at least from what I've heard, because
I
I
mean,
don't know anybody who's like uses Bitcoin.
okay, from my point of view, I think like it took off for like a solid year, and then kind of like didn't come up for a while. I don't know, but that's just my experience. I haven't heard of it or like heard someone talking about it for a long time. So all I know
Yeah.
about blockchain is like it protects your personal information, which is obviously like a lot like really really important and pretty similar to the whole cybersecurity thing we talked about earlier. Okay, next one, drone pilot. I don't. Wait.
I
Okay.
could see
Okay.
that. Like the drone flies and does things. Like I guess people like need more pictures of stuff, and like there has to be a pilot, I guess. So
Sure.
like I
Yeah.
don't know, but I feel like we already have so many pictures of everything. Like Google Maps, like the whole like street view thing updates like every few years or so. Like literally there's pictures of like almost like I mean like places in the world that are more remote, obviously not, but like around here where there's houses, there's like so many pictures.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of scary to think about, like how
It kind of is.
someone can like I don't know, like look you up and like find your house and know what it looks like. Okay. I also think drones like it's a drone pilot, so I guess people could like program like drones to like do deliveries and stuff. Cause like I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I heard about that a couple of years ago, I think, but like I never really saw it in action.
Yeah, I didn't either. I heard Amazon was doing that for some things, but like I I don't see that even being like something that will really work long term, because like if you have all these drones flying in the air, like there's going to be so much air traffic and like drone collisions, and you really want like drones colliding in the air and like falling down to earth, because like when things fall, like they pick up so much speed because like gravity, and then like if they land on you they could literally kill you. So like basically I just don't think like drones for deliveries and doing things will work too well.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I can see that too. Plus, like they had the program around a lot of stuff. I don't know, like trees.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like the houses. Okay. Another out like something that stands out on this list, accountant. Yeah, I definitely see this. Like people who help other people with their financial situation, I guess. And personally, I think our generation's gonna have to employ a lot of accountants because we don't know the first thing about like taxes or like saving money and stuff. I don't know. Like maybe people like you like are already ahead of the game on that. But personally, like I don't know the first thing about that or about like putting money in funds and like investing and stuff. Like I don't know how to do that. And it's also like an issue with like our public school system and private school system apparently that like we don't learn any of like these essential life skills.
I mean, in like my life skills class, I don't know if this was particular just to my class at my school, but like we did this whole unit for 2 weeks about money. And to me, everything in that unit was super intuitive because my mom's a financial advisor. So I know way too much about money already. And so like it was kind of like an easy breeze thing for me. But like a lot of people like didn't understand a lot of the concepts. And like there was this whole like thing you had to do to see like like it was this like fake simulation thing. I don't remember what it was on, but honestly I kind of want to like do it again because like you have to go through it and make choices, and if you come out of it with a certain amount of money you did great, and like you get extra points in that teacher's class, like extra credit. And I were like no one could get it, like it was such a hard thing, and like I don't know, it seemed like an interesting simulation. But I think personally like our generation is going to have such a problem with debt. It's already a problem in everywhere, and debt just keeps accumulating every year, and banks are like profiting so much from like people's debt, especially like student loans and stuff. Like it's insane.
Yeah, that's a huge problem that we should talk about like in another episode of the whole student loan thing, and like how, I don't know, our education system is literally like a monopoly and like profiting off of pretty much like student stress, I want to say, because kids are like pushed to like do big things and stuff, which is kind of why we're doing this future series, like trying to like give more insight into these future careers and like how you can get there. Okay, next one, number 27. So I skipped a lot that were kind of similar, but number 27 here, market research analyst. So I guess this is like helping businesses or helping your business like come up with like marketing strategies in order to sell more units, I guess. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say on this because I don't really know a lot about business, but a lot of my friends want to go into business, and like
Really?
honestly I don't really know what that means, like, or what that entails. Does that mean they're gonna like join like a company and
I
like
mean, I feel like a good amount of people that go into business want to have their own like startup company, so they kind of like learn how to like make a company and kind of run it. But like a lot of people who also go into business are more like about like advertising and marketing type things. I don't really know too much. I know there's like a stereotype about white men going into business and just like having their own companies and becoming insanely rich, but like I don't think like that's not what really business. I don't really know. I can't say that much about it.
Okay, cool. I mean, like obviously like it's gonna be a hard path. Like you have to have good like analytical and logical skills, and I guess do some math too. Like,
And also like it's like business is such about building connections and like maintaining them. Like to like be successful you need to like have like reaches and be able to like manage that and sustain them.
true. Yeah. I can't see myself in the industry, but honestly, it's too seems to help. So it sounds pretty cool, honestly. Like the whole advertising thing and like figuring out certain business like strategies sounds really, really cool. So I can definitely see that becoming a big thing. Okay, another thing here, dental work in general.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure like that's like kind of like an ongoing thing. Like, I don't know, specialized doctors that we all go to, like whether that's like just like normal like child's or like family physicians, like those things are kind of like gonna be ongoing because you have to, you know, like get checkups and stuff, and you have to, yeah. So like there are definitely certain things in the medical field that are kind of like have to be there. There's also certain things that like are like considered not as necessary, such as like, or like secondary. I don't want to say secondary because obviously people have problems all the time. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this because like I'm gonna keep going in circles. But there are definitely like jobs like dentistry and like normal physicians that are kind of in my mind they're like staples. You know, like they won't go away for a long time.
Yeah, for sure not, because like people can't take care of their own teeth and diagnose themselves. Like that's, yeah, I agree. It's essential to being a healthy person, I guess. Because I know some people are like not, I don't know people, but I know like some people like don't go to dentists and they just don't go and they're like, I don't need to, which I don't think is like the smartest if you want to have like healthy teeth, but their choice.
I guess like no one can say like it's illegal not to go. I was thinking that I was like, is that illegal? And like obviously it can't be. Like no one's gonna force you to go get your teeth cleaned. Okay, that's just on you, I guess.
But like it's society's standards. Like society wants those perfect white teeth that are really straight and perfect. That's okay. Side note, this is like kind of why I refuse to get braces, because I hate like how society has this expected look for people. And like if my teeth, like, because like some people's teeth are like not like they're like to where the point where it's causing them like pain in their mouths or like health problems, but like my teeth are just fine. Like they're like they I've never had braces. They're like they're not that crooked, but they are crooked. Like it's obvious that they're not perfectly straight. And but like I think it's so unnecessary, and I hate how like every like all these models have these like perfect teeth, and like there's just such like society expectations, and it just really like bothers me. And I feel like I don't ever see people being like, oh, why do you have crooked teeth? Like no one ever says that to me. Like it's like, so I feel like it's super like, I don't know, the whole like dentist industry, like I feel like it's important for like health, but like I feel like sometimes people go over the top to look a certain way, and it makes me so frustrated that there's just this one way that people expect society to be like, because you can't fit into one certain box. Everyone is different, so it's ridiculous to stop trying to fit people into a box. And not even like in just like beauty standards and things, like in other things too, and like intelligence in schools, everyone's just always trying to be fit into a box, and it's like, stop trying to fit into all into a box. We can't all fit in one box. Like it's unrealistic.
Yeah. Like for me, my adult teeth, like especially in the front, came in like extremely crooked. So like honestly for me, like there wasn't any choice. Like I had to get braces. But I had like a pretty severe overbite. So like that was my story. Like they came in literally like that. And like we're like almost like knocking each other out, like the two front teeth. So I got braces and now I'm done with them. But yeah, I guess it all depends. But I do see your point in that like if it's not like necessary, like mine were like ready to like knock each other out. Then like maybe it's not necessary, and like that's like a more secondary or like superficial kind of medical practice if it's not necessary. Okay. Next thing here, which kind of tied into something you said earlier. Elementary school teacher. So so like these are like a lot of these aren't stuff that you would expect. Like honestly, I was expecting more like lawyer and like different engineer kind of jobs, but I never would expect the elementary school teacher. So these are like the jobs that are more in demand, like not like the industry that are gonna like skyrocket in profit and stuff, but the ones that like are really gonna be in demand. So
Yeah.
I definitely see
like,
this.
because like around here, I don't know if you were in this. No, you were definitely in my class, I think in 5th grade when this happened. But like even like at our school, and like we live in like a nice area, and like I remember one day there wasn't even enough subs. Like I know subs and teachers are a different thing, but like there was that one day, and so like 2 classes were packed into one classroom, and it was so chaotic. Like, and like obviously subs and actual full-time teachers are different, but like there's such like, I feel like a low like such a shortage of teachers around here, because like in my personal opinion, I feel like some of these teachers are hired because really they just need to fill the position, but they're not necessarily great for the job. And like at least in public schools, they kind of switch around teachers interchangeably in some types of classes, and they're just kind of like, oh, you're going to teach this now, and I'm like, well, like I get that that's what they have kind of a degree in, but they also like haven't taught that before, and it just sounds like a whole mess. And like also other places in the world where there's like no education at all, like I'm sure as like the countries like grow, and because I feel like there's no countries really regressing, like maybe they're just kind of stagnant, but like I feel like every country is kind of growing. I feel like school will become more a thing and bigger and just grow in other countries as well as like America, because like America obviously, like I'm pretty sure like in every state ever there's laws about going to at least high school.
Right. And, like I think that's true in America too, right? You have to like get like your GED or like your high school diploma. I'm not sure. Okay, but I can see that because personally, like, I have like gaps in like my math education, especially because like for our grade at our middle school / elementary school, we had a new math teacher every single year.
Oh my
So
god.
that was really problematic for me, especially since I don't know, like I don't do well when like the teacher or like the leader like isn't solid in something. So I feel like we're always being like experimented on and like
Yeah.
gigs for every single grade. And I don't know, that was kind of just weird for me. And yeah, so like I think a lot of people are like a lot of our generation is like very passionate about how I guess how bad our public school system is. And I guess education system in general, because like a lot of stats show that like American kids like are like among like the bottom percent like intelligence wise or like book smart wise, which is really not good. So maybe I'm just hoping that some of us, you know, like go back and try to like eradicate these issues because I don't know,
Yeah,
a lot of
honestly, like
people.
looking at like the jobs of the future, like I feel like a job that will also be kind of important is just like in general, like remaking some of the education systems, or like just I feel like that's not a job because like I don't feel like people are really trying to change it too much right now, but I feel like there needs a lot of work and improvement within education.
Yeah, like like even right now I have like certain ideas that I think like would be very like beneficial for kids like
Mm-hmm.
growing up, and like I can see a lot of problems both in like a bunch of different subjects and like the way that schools are run kind of. But overall I don't have like any complaints or regrets, you know, like I've learned from these things, but I do want to help like the future generations, and kids who have like more passion than me in these things might want to go back and like help out. So I can see that too. Okay, next one here. Okay, here we have lawyer. Um, lawyers will like remain in high demand, but also it'll be very very competitive. I read an article because like you know like big firms like only accept like a certain amount of lawyers, so a lot of
Yeah.
lawyers have to be freelance, and like obviously like firms are like a really good way to get hired and like make money and like have like a steady income. So I can see why that could be super like competitive. But okay, like at the same time, like within like lawyer path, I guess there are a lot of different like paths you can take within law. Like you could become like a patent lawyer for like companies, or like work like criminal cases. So do you see like any like outstanding fields that would be like big in the law like path?
Mm, I mean, other than like human rights in general, maybe like environmental stuff is like that grows
Yeah.
more, but like technology, I don't know, like if there's gonna have to be like laws in terms of like artificial intelligence, I don't know if that's even a thing. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like IP lawyers and stuff, like they work on like intellectual property. It's like patents and stuff for like companies' products or like their services. So I can see that too. Yeah, like environmental and like criminal cases. There's always gonna be like bad people out there. This is something we can discuss too. Like, do you think our generation is gonna produce like same number of like I don't know psychopaths or like serial killers as like the ones before us?
um, I mean, I feel like as the population grows, there's always a growing trend in everything, or like a lot of
Sure.
things. So I feel like maybe slightly more, but I don't think it'll be like abnormally more or less.
Oh, okay.
Do
Okay.
you have like an opinion on that? Like,
I don't. Yeah. Well, like from like all like the TV shows I've watched and like things I've researched, like a lot of people who are troubled like commit crimes, right? So like they have like trauma from their past they're trying to like get away from, and like
oh my gosh.
people's only way to get out of it. So I don't know too much about like um I don't know like
Okay, wait, can I add something to that?
yeah,
I
go ahead.
think actually like it won't really relate to our generation specifically. I think it'll be more related to like uh people and like how many people are like in the like kind of foster care system, and
Right.
like how many people like have like abusive families and stuff. I think it'll be more based on that. So I feel like it'll be more about like whether our parents like raised us well enough in some
Right.
way.
Yeah. Because like that's honestly like the root of a lot of like it's like the root of like what makes us like who we are, you know, like how we grew up. So definitely like how stable your childhood is and like the influence your parents had on you or your guardians had on you. So yeah, I don't know too much about that, but like the newer parents, obviously, I don't know. I think the trend is parents are getting, I don't want to say this, like, are they getting less strict or like more strict in general? Like personally, I think I'll be less strict than my parents were on me. But at the same time, I can't say anything yet because I don't have a kid. But like, you have takes on that?
I mean, I feel like society kind of, or at least around here, we kind of progress forward and kind of accept change and new ideas, and we don't really hold on to the past. And I feel like the kind of like new ideas and just like this idea of new kind of goes along with like more freedom and less rules in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I don't really know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know how our generation's going to be in terms of like raising kids. I don't even know.
Yeah, we should do like a segment on this like Gen Z as parents. But okay, yeah. So I can see how like the whole like criminal justice system is like pretty much like in the air right now. Like we don't, yeah, because like you can't tell like if a serial killer is gonna be a serial killer until they, you know, like kill someone. So
Yeah.
we're waiting on that. Okay, next one. Okay, we have a lot of medical things here. Okay, another thing stands out. Retail salesperson. Apparently, retail jobs are one of the fastest growing like rates.
I mean, I think that also goes along with the fact that like consumerism is also growing, and like people love to buy things. Like I was literally like reading this article, and it was talking about how like most people in America who own cars, like I don't really know other family situations, but like they buy cars on like loans from the banks, and they don't pay for it like themselves because they like, and so like that just even more so in debt. And like there's like this huge problem where people like loan things from the banks to like buy all these like fancy gadgets and like all these things that are coming out, but they can't like actually afford it themselves. And so like, I mean, like, yeah, so like people just really spend money that they can't afford to spend, and consumerism, like ads and everything. So I guess that's why it kind of grows, because I mean, people give in and buy lots of things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Last one on this list that stands out is phlebotomist. So this is like people who work with blood samples and like drawing blood at hospitals and stuff. So I can see that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like with the whole like medical like rationale we discussed earlier. Okay, so these are like the top. I skipped a bunch, but this was a list of the top 40. One of like some of the things that stood out were a lot with like money, I guess, debt and loans, and consumerism. Another thing, like a lot of medical jobs, and like medical care, medical tech, and then of course like tech and like cybersecurity. So those things are standing out to me. Um, and yeah, so like, do you have any final takes? Like maybe how like AI could work itself into like this kind of mix we have right now?
I mean, I don't really know. I just think it's going to continue to grow, and humans are going to be the ones like thinking of like how they're going to be used, but then like the amount that it's used will grow, and practically like everything. I can't really think of a job that doesn't include like some sort of like technology use or something.
Mm. Okay, so like one thing we kind of discussed earlier was like mental health. Like, do you ever think like AI could like substitute like as like mental health care?
No, not at all.
Why?
Like like I feel like I think mental health, and then I just think like psychologists, but like I mean, in terms of like mental health, like the way like a lot of times it's dealt with is like through like pills and stuff, like antidepressants. And so like that's not really anything really related to like technology there. That's just kind of like the pill, you take it, great. Uh, and like when you're given that, you're kind of like diagnosed by like a doctor. So like that's not really replaced by like technology. And then like sometimes like a lot of people are referred to like psychologists, which I said earlier, like I just don't think that's something like AI can do. Yeah, like maybe they can be at like, if you go to see a psychologist, maybe they're at the door like greeting you and being like, here, go to the waiting room, blah blah blah. Like they could be like, because you know how you go to a lot of things and there's like that person at like the front desk, like that, like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I feel like that's what like artificial intelligence can do, but they can't do like the actual like human contact, like let's discuss your problems and figure out what's going on. Like I cannot see that at all.
Yeah, like that's like one like fear that I have and a lot of people have is like, are we gonna lose like our sense of human contact and like are we gonna be able to like keep our communication skills and things like that? So honestly,
Yeah.
like I can see why those issues are in the air. And then
Yeah.
we were saying earlier about how like a lot of jobs in the future are going to be programming AI or like technology to do our jobs. And so like I guess like what that makes me think is like once we've programmed all these things to do our jobs and like once that's like all like set up, like what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna like be customers and like not work for like the rest of like humanity? Like once it's all like, you know, set up. But then again, like there are jobs that only humans can do. So yeah, so that's kind of crazy to think about. So I guess we'll leave you to think about that and how maybe your preferred career path will evolve in the future. And we'll definitely be able to give you some answers by talking to current professionals in those fields. So yeah, we'll see you next week. Stay safe and keep thinking. Bye.
Bye.